게임은 재밌으면 된다니까?
불멸의 전사 2.
To victories time and time again. He's the plane that flies Jin Air Green Wings to victory.
That's right. There
Here
it
he is, Maru. A huge cheer in the crowd. He's 11-0, an average of 2 kills a series, meaning that he wins every game and sometimes wins sometimes plays and wins a
wins
an
a
ace
second
match.
one more than he loses one. Yeah.
So insane value he's given this team. Helped bring them to this finals, and now it rests on him. One of the youngest players to have ever started playing StarCraft 2. That was like 4.5 years ago, really 5 years ago now, that since he played his first match. And his opponent is Zest, who's 11-4.
And a GSL Codes champion.
The current defending champion.
That's right. Many say the best player in the world. Can't really argue with that.
Do you have a favorite?
Color?
Can you choose one? A favorite player here? Do you have a player who do you predict?
Zest.
I'm gonna have to go the other way.
But I'm rooting for Maru.
I think Maru's gonna do it.
Think so?
It could go either way, man. This is so intense. Don't forget, because Zest did just play a PBT, practiced a lot for this match, but also Maru has a lot of games to study.
That's
and clearly
true.
Maru was waiting for this moment in particular to come out versus Zest when it's all on the line.
Our game, it looks like it's loaded up. This is the final and deciding game between KT Rolster and Jin Air Green Wings. Right now, the vote's going to Jin Air, the 2 MVP players of the teams. Initially, Jin Air behind by a good amount. SOS not only brought that to a balance, brought that to a lead. Zest, though, evens it out once again. And now comes down to these 2. This is Maru versus Zest in the final match of tonight's games. In the bottom left, in the green, he is Maru.
The fan favorite tonight, the crowd favorite.
Seems like it. In the upper right, a GSL Codes champion and the hope for KT, it's Zest.
The defending champion defeated his teammate, TY, in that final match. KT Rolster, we feel your victory. Also, you can see it by that card, he also attended the finals live that we were just talking about.
That's right.
By the way, the cross finals are tomorrow, so check that out.
Yep. Do not miss the cross finals. We got another great match. The same time, I believe 6 p.m.
No.
So don't miss out on that.
So just taking a look at this map. It's a map we've seen all sorts of different strategies, different builds. But if the game goes to mid and late, Maru's going to be doing Liberators. We're going to have to see Zest avoid and outplay those. Assuming we get there.
Maru, very solid player. I feel like Zest maybe has a little bit more diversity in builds. That might not play as big of a role here in a best of 1. Maru, of course, very solid with his drop harass. Strategically very sound, although I'd say fundamentally in some ways his strategies are a little bit more basic. That doesn't mean they're worse, but they're more grounded in traditional Terran StarCraft 2 style.
Yeah.
Of just steady pushes,
somewhat predictable.
Solid control. Yeah, I think that there's a degree of predictability, and I don't think he's going to deviate from that in this best of 1. I think he's going to do what he knows best. Also, Maru, typically not too greedy of a player.
He's very much. He's almost like if you could draw a graph of
he's in the middle.
Yeah,
of everything.
Literally. Yeah, I was going to say if you could draw a graph between aggression, defense, cheesing, and macro, he's dead
exactly
in the center. He's the bullseye.
Yeah.
In the middle of that
put
graph.
Maru in the middle of that, and you could take all the other Terran players and put them on different spectrums of style. And by the way, again, that's not a bad thing. It's just that it means he's just solid.
He's also, because he's had so much experience now in StarCraft 2, more than almost any other Terran that's at the top level at this point. Actually, I'd say minus maybe Bomber and some of the oldest StarCraft 2 Terrans, he probably has the most experience in games in StarCraft 2. And he's been playing for StarCraft 2 for much longer than Zest, for example. So in late game, like base trades, there's kind of craziness that exists, like Pult vs. Strange type games, you know, from DreamHack. He's the guy who's going to like make the perfect right choice because he's been in that situation and high pressure situations so many times before. Not saying that Zest would not make good decisions, but Maru just has more experience. And it's funny to say that, but it's just true. In StarCraft 2, Zest has been playing Brood War longer than Maru. Zest was playing Brood War when Maru was in diapers, but different game, different time.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see how far Zest has come. I mean, Zest is the testament that if you just keep trying at something and practice at it and use your practice time valuably, it can pay off.
Good mic
nice
here
control.
from Maru.
I thought that was Parting controlling that Mothership Core for a second. Drives out those Marines.
Hellions coming across the map. And there's no wall here. This could be a problem. He sneaks by. This could be a much bigger problem than the Mothership Core. Maru gets in the main here. He can go back into the backdoor expansion. Going to try to kill some probes. Mothership Core still being a nuisance here back at home.
Yeah, so far 2 SCVs are killed off, but the Hellions are already over here. He needs to actually target down a specific Hellion.
No recall! There's no Mothership Core now! And that means the Hellions are even scarier than before. And any follow-up attack he's got planned is going to be very deadly as well.
Also a big interruption to the early game builds here.
Yeah, that's 100 gas he's going to have to remake.
Yeah, or not remake and just try to play without it.
Yeah.
The Hellion, as you can see, just a little bit faster, can get over here. If he's just good enough at maneuvering, he can get a few more shots up, which would just be huge. Got to be so careful. He's...
Oh, okay.
Okay, no other kills.
Yep.
Bruising the probes is not enough.
But he killed the Mothership Core back at home, which makes it kind of okay, you know? And that was only 2 Hellions invested to. He also went double barracks, so he's got a few more Marines than you would normally have at this stage of the game, because a lot of people will just cut that out.
Observer in here. No scan. Although Observer timing was typical there.
Now, Zest has a very quick blink, but I don't think this is going to be for attack. It's just for him to help split his units and actually have more mobility at defending his 3 bases.
Yeah, and he has a Warp Prism, so he may just try to defend and then just do a little bit of harass. We've seen Stalkers used to harass actually a lot more nowadays with Warp Prisms. Kind of cool to see this full rotation. We saw this initially early on, and it's like the meta's gone in a full circle. It's coming back in a style now. Good scan.
Notice this, the way he scanned there. He made it so that it was surrounded beforehand so they couldn't like fly out of the scan no matter what. Here comes a little bit of poking with these Stalkers. It's only 6, mind you, at this stage. There is a Warp Prism.
You know, there were some Marines killed off earlier. Oh, man. Now, he should know there's a chance of this being there. He does have Blink for his Stalkers, so he can technically blink away.
Yeah, he can dodge it.
Oh, he knows. Oh, he knows.
So smart. Insta-checks. Okay.
So good.
This is a scary push. 9 Stalkers actually coming up. Going to get that second Widowmine up, but again, this could be dodged as well. 1 Stalker goes down already. Oops.
Not successfully baited out.
The Widowmine shot canceled there as well and repositioned. Okay, he's going to actually start dropping Stalkers into the back.
Now, this is still working for Zest because he's still doing, he's denying this base here on the 3rd. Got to pull out, though.
Turret there. This Widowmine's still active, so he needs to not forget about that. It looks like he's going to back off. He adds a Forge, double Forge.
And this actually forces double Liberators here, so that's going to reduce the medevac number, at least early on. Now, TY's made this work before where it's like hardly any medevacs, and it's just Liberators pushing out. Is he going to do that this time? I'm not sure. Big-ass gateway explosion coming in.
Yeah, right now he has only 3, so he's going to be up to 8. That's going to help him with the extra money and the economy's built on this 3rd Nexus, you know, be able to hold off any aggression. There's a tiny window of time where Maru could do some damage before that happens, but I think he may just barely miss it. These Liberators weren't rallied either. Looks like he's actually going to split them for hunting down Warp Prisms and then eventually hitting the mineral line and going into Liberation mode, so twofold amount of like utility those have. Looks like there's 2 Widowmines in that medevac as well. Yep, they're going to just be planted here to help this kind of siege forward.
Now here's the peak. Comes in. Obviously going to cancel that. He should know the Liberators are coming in. And actually perfectly spotted. Zest just everywhere. Now what he wants to do is get the Liberator close enough that it starts to set up a Liberation Zone. Then he blinks on top of it.
Yep. All right, here we go. There's the overcharge immediately. He doesn't even get to kill a single probe, and it will go down.
That was perfectly timed out. That was very intentional.
Perfect. The second one here, not going to do much. The Widowmine drop is denied as well.
Wow, Zest is just bulletproof.
He's like, remember when TY tried to get this against me in the GSL finals and I shut down everything? He's like, yeah, I'll do it versus you too.
All right, so he sets up a zone over here.
This can only hit Stalkers basically too.
Yeah.
So
who knows? He might even get a few more Stalkers and blink right over on that part and just hit it and take it out there. So
Maru's in some serious trouble here in this game. Like, he took a lot of damage early. He didn't lose SCVs, but he lost his third base. Like, was so late that Zest has so much more mining than he has.
Important to note here, guys. There's only one medevac in the game right now. Okay, that means that the Protoss army, when it gets 1-1, actually can sometimes just run over the Terran army.
Yeah, and it means every stim hurts a lot more when you don't have a lot of units there. Ooh, gonna kill a Stalker.
A little bit of miscontrol. Only really loses one Stalker. The other Stalkers just lose their shields. But that's important to keep in mind here, guys.
Yeah, and it means his army is weaker, so he can't deny this fourth base. And the 1-1 upgrades here faster for Zest. He's so massively ahead. Like, Maru is almost at this point where he needs a miracle to come back. He's really behind. He's got a lot of Liberators. Well, he had a lot of Liberators. He lost 2 of them without doing much damage. Now he's only got 3, and the biggest issue is his lack of medevacs. And his army isn't that big either because his barracks that he's adding right now are late because he didn't have a third CC for so long because of Stalker pressure. Scan here in the main.
A lot of this was forced by Zest. Maru kind of forced Zest forced Maru into doing this by getting those Stalkers in there early and putting that pressure on, and knowing that medevacs alone would not allow him to reclaim the low ground, so Liberators had to come in, then knowing to go back to his base and basically set up to catch the Liberators and possibly the medevac. This is classic Maru. 4 medevacs, Maru TM.
Yeah. And this is something Marine King used to do, and they used to be on the same team. People used to jokingly call Maru the Marine Prince back in the day when they were both on Prime together, and we're seeing some of that channeled here, perhaps.
Whoa. Now, look at this pylon setup here. He's aware that this is a likely drop point coming in here.
And this means he has to just drop out, kill the pylon, then leave.
Yeah, this is a problem right now for Maru because it would be unwise to push in further.
Yeah. Zest is hoping that he was going to actually commit there. He's not. But anyway, that means that this drop didn't happen, which is further good for Zest because Maru's trying to do anything he can. He's making big, bold, risky choices because of how behind he is. Now, Storm's about to finish. We have a Warp Prism with 2 High Templar in it, which can just reposition and storm on top of an army and also can be used for
feedback.
harass.
Yeah, or used for feedback here. Not hard to get that off and eat those medevacs up.
Very true.
Now, we see Maru attempting to gain ground over here. I don't know how much of a success this is going to be, other than maybe just him trying to keep, Zest focused on defending the right side of his base. We don't see another expansion just yet.
Okay, here we go. This could be a mistake from Maru.
The blink could be scary. Oh,
there's
my
the
God.
storms.
Nice storms.
Good splits here from Maru, and he's just going to take out these Adepts. And he needs to just lift it out of here before the blink gets to him. That was a positive trade from Maru, I'd say, overall.
That was really interesting.
And he's got a huge force coming over to the left side, so Zest needs to go back. Look at that scan. He's like, okay, he's not there yet. Maybe I have a window.
He comes in.
Oh, I don't know about this. Tasteless.
Shading forward right now.
Okay, he's actually gonna be able to hit the 4th base while this is happening, but he's gonna lose a lot of his expensive units.
The Nexus is taking some damage. He should be losing the 4th here no matter what.
He's gonna trade those Liberators for a Nexus, basically a very risky move here. But
can he get out though? Stalker's coming down.
Oh God, that wouldn't mind nearly getting a huge probe line here. He's gonna actually continue to fight a small Stalker army as well. He has the better army here right now.
All right.
This is so tough for Maru to fight. He's down in upgrades, don't forget.
Maru's did a very good job, though. That was actually something I did not believe would occur, that he would actually take out the 4th, and he did do it.
At the cost of his Liberators, though. And already Zest has Fleet Beacon Tech.
Were there 3 or 4 there?
Yeah, it was 3, I think.
I think it was 3, yeah.
So he's got Fleet Beacon Tech. He's going 3-3 right now. Maru's got a nice setup here to defend an attack like this. He's just going to eat it at the top of the ramp, and Zest needs to back off.
Okay, and he blinked.
He blinks on it. He gets 1.
Yeah, looks like there was a bit of a misclick. He hit that Marauder, then the medevac. Going to back up now.
Maru is ahead in supply. He's multitasking like crazy right now, as Zest spent a lot of resources on that Fleet Beacon Tech.
Here's where he may try to break the shell here of Zest. He's going to expand in the midst of this. Zest trying to reclaim 2 bases.
Maru is taking his main base. That's how desperate he is for a base right now. He's floating his CC, which is a cool thing that Terran can do.
Yeah.
In StarCraft 2.
You can actually power on 3 bases, and right when it runs out, you float it to another 3rd base. You just stay on that same level of powering, whereas Protoss is forced to both juggle the task of remaking Nexi and powering up their army.
Yeah, and he saves 400 minerals here. Yeah, you'll get some less mules, but it's a cool emergency tactic you can do in situations just like this. There are 4 observers on the map for Zest, but he actually has them clumped with his army. I noticed a lot of them, so could be doing more. 1 Adept in this, and it looks like he will see this drop in a second. He doesn't see it yet. Maru just trying to outmaneuver Zest in this game, which is funny because he's the Liberator player here.
All right, well, he's got a good number of Medivacs now. He spots that Warp Prism, but the question is, can Zest split these armies properly?
Maru has more mobility. He's going to force the Protoss army back. Then he's going to hit the other side. He can just kill this Nexus and lift up. He's going to try to get High Templar to feed back those.
The pickups are insane right now. A good attack over here by Zest. We have Storms going down right now on top of those
I'm not
Liberators.
sure, man. That's a lot of Liberators still. They're not dead. This army does get picked up, but this is a decent trade for Maru overall. And he got the Nexus.
I think Maru's doing it. I think Maru's doing it. He took out that Nexus.
He took out the Nexus.
A lot of key units up there. The Tempests don't have as much equity without proper ground backing them. And Maru...
He needs to set up a defense. Maru needs to set up a defense here. Look at his production right now. He's way ahead in the combat. He just needs to survive. Good scan. Good scan here. Oh, he's going to win this fight as well. Zest doesn't have all his units here.
Yeah, in fact, he's kind of 1A into this.
And now that he has the rest, Maru can just escape again with his mobility. He needs to set up a defense, though. Okay, Liberator here.
Liberator down there. But again, there's not enough to actually cover the Liberator. There has to be symbiosis.
Look at the production tab. Look at how much production Maru has. All he has to do is survive, and he just wins this game because he has so much more.
And he's still dropping over here, taking down what was initially an even worker count. Well, I guess the Stalkers get there fast enough. He can park over here with the Tempest.
Oh, he's going to get him.
Get there.
He sees him with the sensor tower. Look at this. He's trying to trap the Protoss army here. Does trap a few of those units, and that may actually turn the tide here.
Oh, really good kiting here from Zest, though. Those Tempests staying alive for a lot
longer. He's dropped Jesus. He's going for it here. And I think this might be too much. I think this is game over. Vikings are landing. There's not enough Protoss. Look at the rest of Maru's army is back. The crowd is going crazy. Liberation zone's going down. And 40 supply up is Maru now. He's up a base as well.
The army for Protoss is not sophisticated enough now.
Oh, drops another mule.
Another mule. He's going all the way to the center right. Not enough to defend the Nexus. Liberation zones about to go down as the Marauders continue to do too much damage.
I think it's time to type out GG! Jinner are your champions of round 2.
Unreal.
Maru does it. The cards stacked against him throughout the entire early mid-game, but he brings it back. He uses his mobility, his multitasking.
Oh, man, what a special day here in StarCraft 2. Maru does it. Zest in the lead in the mid-game, but Maru with finesse in the late.
Generic Green Wings finally get their title. 5 finals in a row, 5 losses in a row, and this time Maru seals the deal in Game 7.
Also, Jin proving that their strongest players are in fact stronger than the best players on KT.
That's right.
By a lot.
It's a beat KT in an all-kill format is always a big telling thing.
Everybody's saying KT should be the favorite in an all-kill format. They're just so strong. But Jin with the teamwork, with the support, able to get that information of the player, and then as a team feed it to the next guy who's going in there to try to take out the next KT monster. Jin Green Wings did it.
They did it.
Wow.
It's finally.
I knew today was going to be sick. I didn't know it was going to be that sick, man.
And the thing is too, it's just so beautiful to see. I mean, we see a shot of Zest here. Zest was doing everything right in the early game. He had total control. He was making the better decisions. But Maru, like SOS before him, his teammate, while behind, made risky choices and did everything he needed to do basically perfectly. Outmaneuvered Zest's army, baited him into bad engages, and sniped Nexi. He was doing everything just to claw back in the game. He lifted his main CC to the 4th base, and that gave him enough economy to build a larger army. And he looks like he can't even believe it himself, what he's accomplished here today. History for his team, their very first win in a round finals.
Dude, such a good day today. We could not have asked for better games. It was perfectly back and forth. The strategies were awesome. Seeing SOS come back like that and still prove his relevancy in a match that was so important. And then seeing Maru actually take out Zest, GSL Codes champion, with really good control, really good decision making, and that does it. There are your winners. Jin Green Wings.
They're in first place in the overall standings going to Grand Postseason. The first time SKT has not been first in a while. I've been saying it for a while. I've been on the Jin Green Wings hype plane, as I like to call it. They are the best team right now. They proved it tonight. They're ahead. They're number one in the rankings. They won this entire round. They were in first place going into this finals, and they have the best StarCraft 2 roster for Pro League.